still.
At present, it is.
So
But at present, it's
nobody
in
wants
no
to sort.
storm.
Everyone
So.
wants the reputation.
What's that?
What if no one wants to sort? They all want the reputation.
Well,
That's a good
not
question.
use it.
And
Not use it.
well, yeah, no, I guess that would be fine.
I got Excalibur. I ditched it. The prom queen asked me out. I dumped her. Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't have a problem.
Stop watering hard, try to toss it, chuck the sword at me.
Suddenly you have a following of 15-year-old kids who hate their parents.
Mithril, I've got armor. Into the well with you. Yeah, so my assumption is that people will want stuff. Somebody will want the stuff, but you're absolutely right. In the case of artifacts and stuff like that.
I guess that's a case of the adventure breaking down, isn't it? I mean,
Well, if you already have better stuff, maybe.
or I guess it's a case of them using the
We've
random.
got the head of Vecna. Where's the volcano?
It might be a case of the random tables going horribly wrong. I guess that's possible.
That's
too.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Wow. that's
You
funny.
have many tingles.
Shot with many things.
Damn, Mad Lib, magic items. What else you got?
Any more information on what the Unborn are, or is that still secret?
Oh, you want to talk about races?
I think we can actually talk about the important.
Unborn. Yeah. Unborn are a construct race. They are not bipedal robots necessarily. They are actually sort of amorphous construct race, which means that they can be made of crystal, they can be made of.
They could be spiders.
They could be living scarecrows. They could be little floating robots. Whatever fits your setting. In the case of Cloak and Dagger, and we'll talk about. I think we'll talk about settings too briefly.
Sure.
Yeah, that's just overview. If we get some more information, because this sounds anyway, Unborn are a construct race, and so they're tough naturally because they're not living, they don't breathe, they don't eat, they don't just sleep. But they kind of work in. I can work automatons into Cloak and Dagger, like the automatons from Greek myth. If I wanted to, just they're a sentient grass race and clockwork things. So the cool thing is about them is their modularity and the fact that they're constructs.
Right. Don't have to breathe. Don't have to eat.
Right. All those other things. That's a huge benefit for them. So yeah, the Unborn are going to be there and they'll have racial feats and things like that, which let them kind of actually change their body shape or maybe even their construction. And then the other races we have. I mean, there's the elves, the elves, the orcs, all the things that we had in classic fantasy. So Pecs, well, trolls are in there as sort of a racial subgroup of ogres.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we also have ogres as playable. I love ogres. So I like ogres and barbarians. So I forced them into the book.
It's quite very hard.
Yeah. I love the ogres. So yeah, we've got ogres in there as a playable race. They're a lot of fun. We have giants. Giants, yes. Saurians, that plus the lizard people.
I love Saurians.
So yes, we've put the lizard people in there. We have root walkers, so you can play tree net or ents or whatever you like. Our fantasy craft adventure features a pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty. I would call them awesome, but remember we also refer to players as enemies on occasion. So yeah, we have root walkers. They're pretty cool. Drakes, yes, you can play a dragon.
Yes.
It's a small dragon, but yeah, you can play a dragon.
Are the root walkers small too, or are they like?
Oh no, they're big.
No, they're big.
We have a number of big things. The biggest are the drakes, followed by the giants, then the root walkers, and then the ogres.
Chapter 1 has this really kick-ass image, which we'll preview at some point before the book comes out. That's these three. It's actually one very long one, but we broke it into three. It's a species lineup. It's a Law and Order style. You might as well have the numbers under them. Except it's at the second after they were told the picture's been taken. So you've got like the Peck running up the root walker's arm and trying to set fire to him. And
It's the evil root walker.
Yeah.
Evil treatment.
And you've got the elf and the
goblin throwing down. The goblin's giving him the old.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And then it's all to scale. So you've got the Drake sort of looking over all of them, sort of like, what?
The elf sitting in the middle, like rolling her eyes.
Yeah.
Throw down. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So there's 12 playable races in the book.
What is a pack?
A peck,
Oh, hobbit, essentially.
yeah, a peck, yes. watch Willow and you'll see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but they put us outside of gnomes because they have gnomish characteristics and they also have halflingish characteristics.
Right.
So yeah,
And Deck are cool because it's Willow.
Right.
I love Willow.
Right. Yeah. So.
And there's other
Yeah. Settings or some other part of the book that you want to
What was the fate of mass combat?
Mass Combat led us to a standalone book.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that was the tipping point. I
It
think.
was.
It was a thing that Scott hit when it was just all. It wasn't anything with Mass Combat. It's that he actually put together Mass Combat and said, "I don't like it."
Yeah.
And now it's not that he doesn't like Mass Combat. We all believe in Mass Combat. We all have ideas.
Scott loves it more than all of us.
Right, but it's the fact that he did it. He didn't think he could make it interesting enough, and because it would just turn out to be either some crazy wargame-ish thing, or it would be just
Too abstracted.
Yeah. So
I have an alternate idea for dramatic conflicts that I've been toying with for a long, long time, and Scott wants to do some stuff with dramatic conflicts as well. And these two systems are actually not they feed into each other, but they're actually different from one another. They're different takes on the same concept. So what wound up happening with Mass Combat is we looked at it and said, well, we could do this better, and we could do it for all games if we pulled it out and made it a separate PDF, and we introduced this other system and said, here's this variant for Mass Combat, here's Scott's variant of dramatic conflicts. We think they're both superior to what we currently have in terms of the way dramatic conflicts work. They're more involved. They let the players be more involved in the outcome. They let all the players be involved. Well, one of them definitely lets all the players be involved. The other one mostly lets all the players be involved in every single round. They're a lot more engaging. They're a lot more like a mini game. We think that they'll be a lot more fun to play.
they're a little more of a session building and running tool, I think, than just a roll.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not as procedural. And so that wound up, we looked at that and said, we can't do that in this book. It just would not fit. It would be too much space. It wouldn't really rock with the rest of the product.
Right.
So it spun out and became this separate thing. What's probably going to wind up happening is you'll see a new line of PDFs, one for each of the dramatic conflicts already in here, that do this for these new, like you'll see a chase one that has my take on my alternate take on it, Scott's alternate take on it, and you'll just be able to use the system you like best, or both.
Yeah, you'll have three options.
Yeah, exactly.
Mass combat includes naval combat?
I am pushing heavily to make that happen.
Right.
Yes. It was weird. Scott loves all mass combat, right? And I had a conversation with him. I'm like, we're gonna do this on boats, right? There's a long pause. Yes, we will. And I'm like, wow, you usually think about these sorts of things. He says, yeah, it's just blinders. It was one of those weird things. Like
he's just trying to figure out how to work out the troops, how to work out the force, how to work out generalship.
Yeah.
And then when he and I had a conversation, which is sort of like, well, we got something, but it's just.
He reads so
Sorry
much.
guys, you're on the ship that got sunk.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Travel with that happened.
He reads so much fantasy, I think, that involves people on ground in these fights that it just escaped him initially. And so he was focused on that. The reason I bring this up is on the boards, it came up and he was sort of blindsided by it. And I want to defend him a bit. He just it was going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen immediately. We need to get the ground ones done first.
Right.
So.
And that of course includes Space Navy as well as water.
I think you can change the medium there around it.
Which is another reason to spin it out, honestly.
Right.
So that you could, this allows us to do lots of stuff. Like, Alex wants to do a court case one. I'm all for this. It should be something you can put in fantasy. It should be something you can put in
I wanted dramatic conflicts for potentially turf wars.